Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Positive journey. Peace. Can you hear me? Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my the fan on my AC running on the truck. Maybe I'm let me see. Let me turn me up a little bit. Turn my volume up. Is that any better? It's cool. Loud and clear. Okay, all right. Appreciate it. So not many people nobody's really I think you're the only person in right now, but it's good enough. We'll get rolling. But I know that other people will come and watch this, and they're gonna be, as they say, chomping at the bit because they're gonna see that title and they're gonna be like, I know this fool ain't on here talking about no prayer. You know, uh, we're supposed to be beyond that. Now, now, mind you, this video's purpose is not to get on here and um, what's the word? Proselytize or advertise the prayer. Instead, what I'm doing is to encourage broader thinking. See, what I wanted to call this video at first was Step Your Game Up because right now you got the the easy target is religion. And then when I say religion, I mean in the connotative sense, not what the word really means, but in the way we understand it and we use it. We understand and use religion as something that deals with, I'm sitting behind these these businesses back here. Um, we understand religion as a means, a system that deals with set rituals, set behaviors, uh, politics, self governance, and societal governance, just to name a few. Financial structures, you know, also fall under religion as we know it. So that's the sense I'm speaking of when I say religion, but not in the true sense. The true sense of religion is just anything that binds you. So because Earth has a gravitational pull, life on Earth is a religion in itself. There's no such thing as to be not religious. Because if you live on Earth and you are subject to the laws of gravity, then according to the etymology of the word religion, then you have a religion. Your religion is gravity, unless you have some means of flying, because religion means bound, and gravity binds us to this earth while we're here in a human body. See what I'm saying? Now, somebody will argue that's just a bunch of talking, but it's not. What I'm trying to show is we hear people say things and we run with them and we don't flesh them out for ourselves to get our own understanding. And that's problematic. And so the connotative sense of religion is what is an easy target right now, especially like on the internet. You got, especially when you got people like Creflo Dollar, who 7 years ago got up and proclaimed that he was going to get a $65 million jet so he could spread the gospel and that he was believing God for it. And, he was a big, he's always been one of those people who's a big time preacher on tithing, you know. And now he comes up here a few weeks ago and says, oh, he's, his, his view has evolved. He's still growing. He's still learning. And now he's seeing the grace of giving. And it's not about the law. And you're not supposed to give based on the law. You're supposed to give based on the idea of grace and not just some bullshit. And what it is just another hustle always. But it's also a way of trying to sidestep karma because you know what you were preaching was wrong. You know that the 10% and the tithing in the Bible has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with bringing nothing to an actual organization, has nothing to do with that. The tithe is talking about the individual person giving to themselves, not to a church or organization. And they know that. If I can figure that out, they damn sure can. So, but still, you got all these people backtracking on things they've been quote unquote teaching people. My point is that it makes organized religion an easy target. Okay, but for those of us who would fashion ourselves to be aware or uh, quote unquote conscious or enlightened to some degree, is our aim to prove to religious people how stupid they are, how backwards they are, or has the aim always been education, enlightenment, evolution, restoration, um, whatever words you want to think of along those lines? And if any of those words I just mentioned matter, then in the big scheme of things, what do I care about proving to somebody who go to church that they wrong, or who go to a mosque, or this and that? What? This is. I want to make this especially clear to people who are new to this type of information. When you first get into this, You learn this information so you can debate. Because I did it. I would read books and I'm like, oh man. So as soon as I had a chance with somebody, well, brother, that was the letter J was not invented until all the stuff we done, and his real name was Yeshua, and Yeshua is a Christos, and it really comes from ancient Kemet, and you ready. Just like when a baby first learns how to count, you know, they want to come and explain arithmetic to you. Now, as an adult, you've at least had algebra if you graduated from high school, or you may have gone as high as trigonometry or calculus, depending on your level of education. But this child is going to come to you and tell you how to count. And you sit there and you follow them like, oh, that's good. Look at you. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Oh, man. Thank you, buddy. When you first come into this type of knowledge, that's the way you are. You're like that toddler who wants to go around and tell everybody that you know how to count on your fingers now. If you are supposed to be a teacher, though, or a so-called more advanced person, and you still going around here talking about how dumb religion is, and you're not showing the bridge, you might as well go back to daycare. Either the person is extremely stupid, or the person has some ulterior motive, and they're not really about what they say they're about. Now, what people say they're about is us rising back up to who we are, and removing the scourge that has been the cancer to us for so long. And we're gonna rise and tap into our power, and we're gonna, you know, live in utopia. Now, once you use the word we, you suggest some type of unification. Otherwise, just say me. Now, I understand the frustration of dealing with ignorant, blind folks. God knows I do. But I also, by being into this line of thinking and functioning and living and experimenting for this amount of time, I'm supposed to have a level of maturity that is beyond these children that I encounter out here. Meaning, for me, I'm to the point now where I pick and choose when I'm gonna say something. I'll let them sit there and, as long as they leave me alone, I'll let them sit there and wallow in their whatever they want to wallow in. I don't care, you know. I'm not gonna. And guess what? I ain't gonna do either. I'm not gonna go around the elders in my family and tell them why y'all uh, saying this prayer to this Jesus, and I ain't participating in none of that. Guess what? If my family want to hold hands and pray, guess what I'm gonna do? Hold hands with them, bow my head, close my eyes, and be respectful. I sure am, because I'm not stupid. I once was a child. I function as an adult in this now, and so as an adult who fashions himself to be a teacher, what good is it gonna do me to sit around here and malign what people believe in? What I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna get you off of me if you come trying to be judgmental with me. Now I'm gonna sit you straight, and I'm going to humble you first. Then I'm gonna teach you. And see, this is what this when it comes with consciousness, this was never supposed to be nothing where it was fascism. You know what? The fascist does. They rule with an iron fist. Fascism or communism. They come in, you either got a dictator or you got a government structure that's going to tell you what you think, how to think, what material to use, so forth. Now you got these conscious people around here talking about burning Bibles, talking about you shouldn't be reading. You should just be going within. That's the go within. Yet I'm on here running my mouth to you and telling you I'm on some council somewhere and I'm a this and I'm a that. See, it's the same game that the church runs. Same game. I'm telling you it's all about me, but I'm still feeding you the idea that I'm superior to you. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. If I'm really who I say I am, then guess what? I'm studying everything. And I'm going to encourage you to study everything because that's what an adult does. That's what a student does. That's what a teacher does. You study everything so that if I encounter that person who may be stuck in Christianity right now, but there's a seed inside of this person that's waiting to be watered and fed and rooted, then depending on how I handle this person may determine whether they just wither and stay within that dogmatic mindset they're in, or whether they might sprout roots or grow roots and become an oak tree. So if I sit here and beat them over the head about how they stupid instead of showing them the esoteric and hidden jewels within what they say they believe in. This is why I'm such a fan of C. Freeman L. Because if you don't know nothing else, and I don't know who all watching and what level you on, but I know we assume that stuff been out so long that everybody's at a certain level. Somebody may be watching who's kind of new to this stuff and still know this. One of the most important lessons that C. Freeman L taught was when you look at the Bible, it's broken up into two major theatrical works. One is called the Old Testament. The other is called the New Testament. Testa, body, menta, mind. Old body, old mind. New body, new mind. Now, it's in a book called the Holy Bible. Whole, as in holy, is the same as Whole, whole, as in complete. And it is also the same as HOLE, as in a whole, as in a circle, 360-degree circle, which is the sun, which is why whole becomes Helios, sun, Bible, Biblio, book, sun book. Now, you learn something called the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallow. Hallow is the same as whole. Whole be thy name. Thy will be done. In your birth chart, you have something called your sun sign. And your sun represents your expression. And guess what? Your will. Thy will be done. The book is partly the strengthening of your will as you travel from a previous version of yourself to a new version of yourself. The book has nothing to do with any external characters. All the characters represent a mythological story about you. People who bash on religion, they go in on the name Jesus. Well, if you study, let me show you for those of you all who really study, who just don't watch videos and take what somebody say as the gospel. Oh, I lost this paper. I need to keep this. I first learned about this Bible from what's that dude's name? Jordan Maxwell. And back in the day, I wanted the big one. They make a huge version. This is about 8.5 by 11, but I dragged my feet, saw one in the bookstore, and it disappeared because I didn't act on it when I was supposed to. But I ended up getting me one, finding me another one. It's called the Companion Bible. Get this, the Companion Bible. It's a study Bible, and it's one hell of a study Bible. One thing they highlight in there is that in the book, the characters who were down with the main character of the Christ, i.e., Jesus, never referred to him as Jesus in the book. They never referred to him as Jesus. I can't see y'all's comments because my phone is sideways, so I'll check them in. They referred to him as Master. Master. Now just think about this. If if he, the character, represents the saving grace of the whole story, as in his arrival in the New Testament represents the Savior, okay? Then it don't take a rocket science to put this together. If the book is about the old you going to the new you, and it's called the Son book or the whole book, and there's a prayer that says, Thy will be done, thy Son, and then you have the figure who represents the Son emerges, and then the characters who were associated with him did not call him Jesus. They referred to him as Master. And then the whole shit is talking about you and I mastering ourselves. Now, see, I might spark something in somebody by me knowing my shit, and I'm able to explain something to them on a level they've never heard. Although for you and I, they might be just like A, B, C, D, one, two, three. But for them, they're like, damn, all these years, I never thought about it like that because I wasn't taught to think. Versus me sitting there telling them, that book was just written by that book was written by the white man, and that's what's holding us down. And see, the real secret is people talk about all this us and we shit. People ain't about that shit, man. Let me give you the game. People know we're at a pivotal time in human history. And people know we got this internet, which means there's a good chance we can have some type of record of what we were saying. Like you ain't got to speculate, like find some hidden text or whatever. There's record where we can say, "Oh, I was one of the priests of the time when the world was going through the great shift." And people, through their egos, want to go down as a legend, and they want to be remembered as a god amongst men. And they are hoping that maybe some text will have them in it, because I do believe new mythologies are going to be written. Like you had Confucius, you know, I think there are going to be texts. There was a man named C. Freeman L. There was a man named Bobby Hemmett, and all these and other great teachers. These people are going to be deities, but they didn't set out to be deities. They set out to teach. We have now a lot of people posing as teachers who really just got an ulterior motive. They want to be remembered as a god. And I ain't upset. Whatever floats your boat, but it is what it is. But be what you is. Don't fake the funk. Selling all this about us and we and this and that when it's really about you. You want to be deified. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. So to the subject of prayer, conscious people will tell you you ain't supposed to be praying, that's begging. Okay. Now when they say begging, they have entered into the realm of etymology, because that's why they say begging, because prayer traces back to the word, the root. Let me get my little note. I think it traces back to the root word, uh, perk, P-E-R-K. And P-E-R-K, first of all, means entreat. Okay? Now hold on, let's break that down, because we use words and we accept them to mean something without exploring what am I really saying. So the etymology, the root of the word prayer is perk, P-E-R-K. Perk means entreat. Now, whenever you have the prefix en in front of a word, it denotes going in, as in within, or being uh, uh, or being um, in tune with or one with something. Okay, so in and treat means track, as in draw, pull, carry. So to pray is to entreat, which means to draw or pull or carry something from within. So that means prayer means the same as education. So education means out, to draw out from within. So you got this religious person. What if you sit them down and show them, hey, you know, this is what prayer really means. So we ain't got to condemn the word. Maybe all we need to do is recontextualize what you think it means or what you think it is. If we come to realize that that book that everybody leans on is really a magical manual for finding one's own self and not for reaching out to something outside of itself, then we know that with that as the foundation, that when I set out to pray, I am communicating with myself in another realm, as above, so below, as within, so without. Metaphysics 101. See, a lot of people have seen a bunch of videos and gotten to this shit, and they ain't done these one-on-ones that I'm talking about. You know, before you get into your major, you got to go through the basic core classes. This is core shit. There are a lot of people who yap. They ain't even got the core shit yet. This is the basics. This is the elementary shit. Because if you get this basic elementary stuff, you won't waste your time at this day and time sitting around here arguing these low hanging fruit points. Now, to be fair, that same root word also traces back to the Latin precare, which means beg. Okay, but here's the deal. If I accept that it means beg, then what the hell does it really mean to beg? Beg comes from beguine, and beguine means hood. What does the wizard wear? What does the magician wear? They wear a hood because they are they become the subtle element that moves the greater elements. The hood makes you hidden. The hood makes you occult. The hood makes you esoteric, which is why the Christians and other religions, the Abrahamic religions, close their prayer with Amen. The Muslim says Amin, Amen, Amin. Well, we know Amen is Amen Ra, the hidden God, the hood, one on one shit. So now, and I'm especially trying to talk to the people who are making this transition. Because you got to know it all. But I'm talking to the people who are making this transition and coming into new awakening, and those who are already into the path, but they're always thirsty for new perspective. That's kind of the angle of my channel, what I like to try to offer. So with that foundation forward, now with that knowledge, how could one pray in a manner that lines up with this understanding? For one, your prayer. Hold on. Let's see what this P. Okay. Uh-oh. Got a P. Hold on. Here go one. Oh, it's got a hole in it. Here, pull your cup out of there. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh man, you had to go, didn't you? Okay. Clean your hands. Here, let me get some. Let me get some. Let me get some of that sanitizer. No, give me the bottle. Huh? Okay. All right. Young lion had to water the lilies. You got young kids, young children. Got to keep you some cups with you. Man, they're a lifesaver. Um, so I want to give you some suggestions. Okay, how can you pray in alignment with your new knowledge? One, you speak affirmations. But first, you always start off by giving thanks. I don't care what nobody says. No matter what, you give thanks. You have something that could have gone worse than what it was. And you don't have to say, all the different trappings of religious institutions. You just say, I give thanks for my family. I give thanks for their health and their wellness. And I give thanks for the full pantry. I give thanks for the full freezer. You know, I give thanks for my health and da 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 da. All the shit that could be fucked up and it ain't. Simple. Don't let nobody separate you from having a sense of gratitude because that's metaphysics because you attract that back to you. Okay? So you do that, then you speak affirmations, healing. Somebody in your family needs healing around so and so. And then you close your eyes and you imagine you sending light from you to that person. Now, this hand, your right hand, sends out energy. Now, tonight, when you land in your bed, I want you to lay there in the dark when it's quiet, when your senses are more acute. And I want you to put your hand over your face. And I want you to feel the heat that your body produces through your hands. And you know your hands are hot anyway, because when you're cold, what you do? You rub your hands together and you go to wherever it's cold and try to warm it up temporarily. So we know already physiologically the hands is a place where we can generate heat. But just feel the natural heat that comes off of your hands. There's a book out called Your Body Electric. Okay. This hand, the right hand, sends out. The left hand receives. So if you want to send healing wherever you are, let's say like I'm in Texas, my mother is northeast of me. I will stretch my hand out in the direction northeast. My mother had a cold, bad cold a few days ago. And I didn't tell her I was doing this. So here's other thing. Religion, organized religious people love to tell folks, I go and I'm a prayer warrior. And this is not supposed to be shit you advertise. You know, you're not supposed to tell a person, I mean, it's you. Let me not say. You can tell a person as reassurance. Sending out. Uh, I'm sending out positive energy to you. But what I'm saying is, you're not supposed to say this stuff to get brownie points. Is what I'm saying. In my lifetime, the people who brag about how much they pray have been the worst humans I've ever encountered. They'll cheat you out of money. They got a nasty disposition. You know. So I ain't talking about that. We're not talking about this to be braggadocious. What I'm saying is withhold this so that The people, if they don't know to a degree, it doesn't matter as long as it's effective. Sometimes you can't let people know just how much magical, miraculous power you possess because their left brain may get in the way of it. Their left brain sets expectations and asks, well, how and how is this possible? And and whatever. And so to remove all that, you are the master. You have to know. You want to send out healing energy or protection, put that hand in that direction that you want to send it. And you use your childlike imagination to imagine that traveling from you to that person. You imagine that person and imagine them being engulfed in the light that you're sending. And this is important right now because some things are probably coming down the pipeline, especially here towards the end of this month. We're going to have Mars, Uranus, and the North Node form a conjunction in Taurus, which is the sign of resources. We may see something happen, a pop that happens that might catch the world off guard. And we're going to need more than just logical ways to work our way through. We need some form of power, which is what magic really means. Magic means power, some form of power. So even if it's you in your house, imagine your house. Close your eyes and imagine go down the front of your house and cover the side of your house, the other side, the back, the roof, cover your vehicles. Imagine your pockets, real spill. And that's the evolved way of praying. And you can close your prayer with an ashe and an amen. I'm hiding it in the temple because that's what matters most. Ashe, power. I'm giving life to it. I'm energizing it, power to it. And amen, I'm hiding it within my temple. So let's see what we, oh, okay. Oh, this is, oh, here's one right here. We got one right here. This is, we got us somebody uh, who's very deep. This is Muchi, Muchi. They say praying equals benefits, question mark. They say, what's up, Tracy? Oh, you know about them CAOs? This a dude tried to sell me a CAO today. This is a Fanon Anaya or something like that. But it may be the same company, but it's a good stick, man. Uh, so Muti says the Bible was written for Hebrew teens to learn how to read. Now you see how I done sat here and I broke all this shit down all this time. See, I knew that I was gonna at least get one person. This is beautiful. I guess I'm a prophet. uh, and they were not permitted to read it. Listen to this. Zodiac equals Greek. Now, who did you hear say that? Because you didn't read it, you didn't study it. Zodiac, first of all, who is the Greeks? You ever heard of a book called Stolen Legacy? This is 101, stolen legacy. See, you heard somebody say that. You can always spot somebody uh, uh, that may be, and I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm trying to get you to broaden your horizon. There is no shit out here that does not come from the original inhabitants of the earth, including Zeus. What do you think the Greek mythology is about? It's about niggas fighting. That's right. That's right. Positive Journey say Muchi likes your content. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, but this is what I'm trying. I'm trying to just get us to broaden our perspective. What I'm trying to do. Oh, shit. Uh, I'm losing all my shit flying now. So Muchi, if I was premature, I apologize. But I wanted to at least address your comment about the zodiac. That's not a correct interpretation. Now, several ways we can look at that zodiac. Now that the first zodiac is found in the Temple of Dendera in ancient Egypt or Kemet, and zodiac means life. Zodiac means life. Shit, this thing ain't gonna act right. Do that with you. Now, no, Dendera is not Greek. That is Egypt. That's Kemet. Ptolemy, who was under the Alexandrian uh, political system, came in and they learned their information from the Egyptians. They did not. They don't originate that. Ptolemy is doing nothing but taking what he learned, and Ptolemy is a group. It's a group of scientists who were privy to to study in the mystery system. It's not there. Ptolemy is coincides with Alexander the horrific, not the great, the horrific. Now what was great about Alexander is that he took those books, papyri that he got from the Egyptians, that they did not author, they got from the Egyptians, and he created the greatest library ever known, the Library of Alexandria. But that did not come from some neoclassical society. It comes from the ancient Egyptians. You got to study. We should not be having this conversation until a person has at least read George G.M. James, some John G. Jackson, Chancellor Williams, Asa Hilliard. This is the basic stuff, you know. And now it's great that Michu brought up Ptolemy because this alignment I just told y'all about, Mars, Uranus, and the North Node, that's happening at the end of this month in the beginning of August in Taurus. Mars, Uranus, the North Node in Taurus. Guess when the last time that we had that alignment? When Alexander was in rulership. It's been over 2,300 years since Mars, Uranus, and the North Node formed their conjunction in Taurus. Oh, okay. Well, Muchi, you great. You got what you believe, what you know. Roll with it, because I'm not getting paid to convince you. You want to pay me, I'll teach you, but I ain't spending no more energy on you. Appreciate you watching and giving up your energy for something that obviously couldn't teach you nothing. But anyway, for the others of you, I hope you've been able to glean something from what I'm saying. Study, study, study. Because, see, I believe the Great Spirit uh, created this dialogue um, because I knew it was going to be this type of dialogue, either somewhere in the comments or somewhere. That's the thing. We got to learn how to learn. Like when you encounter information that's above your pay grade, just allow it to settle in. You don't have to accept it. Allow it to settle in, and then go do some studying. Do your due diligence. Study, people. We got to get back to studying because what it does is you already have power. If you're remotely interested in any of this, you already have some semblance of power. The studying fortifies your power, and it allows you to start living these things more. The misconception is that studying is just about sitting around with some thick glasses on and thumbing through books. That's not it. Why do we have an apprenticeship all throughout history? Apprenticeship, because that's the due diligence you pay. It it fortifies your energy by studying. Straight Panther, great question. Straight Panther posed the question that I should have posed. Give us something we can study so we can get on your level. He said, Muchi, what books for you read or research? I'm interpreting that as what books do you have to suggest to us to study and research so that we can possibly get a glimpse of your perspective. And I mean that sincerely because I'll go read that shit. Because this is supposed to be a university. No fascism over here. Because everything I've said is documented. So at least you can ponder it and see and let it simmer within you and see, do I accept that? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't the first one to kick any of this. I mean, if you follow Eileen Bay, shit, he'll take you through Corinthians, he'll take you through Uh, uh, shit. He'll walk you all through. Oh my God, Walter Williams. I got Walter Williams' book on Christianity and Islam. That's what I'm saying, man. You late. Man, we done. Walter Williams is a joke. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause Walter, and I don't mean that. Now let me clarify that. 'Cause that's wrong. Let me back up. Walter Williams is not a joke. Walter Williams is a step. We done already crossed Walter Williams. Walter Williams, he did a great service into showing that the historicity of the Bible and the Quran are not, that they shouldn't be taken historically. But he only studied but so far, because Walter Williams also said you need to throw away the Bible. What the fuck? What magician you know throws a look? How many of y'all know something about some tarot? What's on the magician card? This dude is standing at a table and he's contemplating, which that table is the same as Communion Sunday. Hey, what's up, Brianna? That magician in the tarot deck is staring at the communion table because when you do communion, you're looking at the elements. Those things on the table in communion are called the elements, the bread and the wine. The bread is the sixth house, Virgo. The wine is the eighth house, Scorpio. And the seventh house is the marriage between those. Love without bread and wine grows cold. That's what it says. And it's right, Straight Panther. And on the card, he's at the altar. Now, one thing I ain't gonna get on here and talking. I know the shit I'm talking about. I know. Now I'm not going off no bullshit. Now I've studied. I don't know it all, but I know this shit. We're talking about the Bible is a magical script. Now, if you stuck on one level of it, then whatever. But to those who know how to read that shit, it says, "Greater works ye shall do." You think I'm working magic? It tells you in the book, "Greater works ye shall do." John chapter 14, I think it might be verse 32. My son is something else. Boy, sharp. Uh, you know, again, just trying to get you to stretch your perspective. It's a waste of time debating with me because that's old hat. I got both of his books, and they were important for me 10 years ago when I got those books. 10 years ago. This is 2022. I bought those books from the Pan African Connection in Dallas, Texas in 2012. Tracy said, Drew Ali said, don't throw away our Bible. Not at all. Uh, Positive Journey said, my ancestors came through and worked for me with my Bible verses. That's what's up. That's what's up. Brianna said, Respect to you, Jamal. I was just listening to Lupe and thought of freelance. I go to your channel and you're live. It's crazy. It's crazy. I keep getting all these damn calls while I'm on here. Um, okay, well, I gotta wrap this up. Hope y'all were able to glean something from this. What's up, BK Trainer? Got 10 of my little ones. What's up, Dap? The Bible has jewels, without a doubt. Jewels for the Yahudi. Who is the Yahudi? Yahudi is Tahudi, which is the Jews, which would be you and I. Jewels for the Jews. All right. As always, y'all stay down till you get up. And get up, stay down. I'm available for reading, 720astrology.com. And yeah, I'll be back soon for another chat. Till then, peace.